Hello, this is Uday. In this video, we are going to learn about recursive common table expressions in SQL Server. As we have got multiple expressions like derived tables, views, common table expressions, among these, the common table expressions stand separate as only CTEs have the recursive capability. So in this video, we try to learn about what exactly the recursive CTEs are and how does it behave. So the basic recursive structure looks like this, as it is almost similar to the syntax of the CTE name, which uses with as a keyword, and then the CTE name, target column list, and then using as, it has an inner query, which represents the query result set, and then the outer query contains what exactly the result set contains in the inner query. Now, if you are new to this channel, I would like to recommend you to please watch the separate video that is created on the basics of CTE. The link of the video is provided in the description below. Now, coming back to the topic, the recursive CTE is defined by two queries, at least two queries, where at least one query known as the anchor member and at least one query known as the recursive member, and both are being unified using a union all operator. Okay, the anchor member is a query that represents a rational results table, like a query that is been used as a basic table expression. Let's try to understand using an example. So this is a table which contains employee IDs and employee details, and there I have a query which is representing to the example of a CTE query. It consists of the anchor member, where I have got upper query, and then the recursive member where I have got the lower query, which is referencing to the CTE name. Okay, the recursive member is a query that has a reference to the CTE name. The reference of this CTE name represents what is logically the previous result set in the sequence of execution. Okay, like in this query we see that the first query in the sequence is my anchor query, where the anchor member query is invoked only once in the recursive CTE query. Alright, so my anchor query is pulling out the employee details where employee ID is 2, and using this query, the recursive member references to the CTE name, considering the result of this, the anchor query as a previous result set. Now, using this, we are just joining the CTE. Now, what we found here is, using this query, I got a result as employee ID equals 2 and manager equals 1. And my recursive query, what is trying to select is, considering these 2 as a manager, tries to pull out what exactly the results will be pulling out. So wherever there are manager 2, I have got 2 employee IDs, employee 3 and employee 5. And using this, it tries to pull the result of the recursive member. As we can see, there is no explicit recursion termination check. It is invoked repeatedly until it returns an empty set or exceeds some limit. Like we can see, it goes on invocation until it finds the empty result set. Now, in the second recursion, what it does, it tries to use this employee ID 3 and employee ID 5 as the manager and tries to pull out the values. So in this example, we see that there are manager 3 having employee IDs as 9 and 11, and there are no records where I can see as manager ID equals 5. So it tries to pull these 2 records and stores in my temporary result set. And then in the next recursion, it again tries to invoke using these 2 employee IDs as a manager, but in my example, I do not see any records where my manager ID is either 9 or 11. As it is getting an empty result set from the reference, it ends the recursion here and goes into my outer query. So the reference to the CTE name in the outer query represents the unified result set of anchor member and the invocation of recursive members. As we are using union all, it tries to pull what exactly is the anchor result set and then the result set of my reference member. So let's try to see this using an example where I've got exactly same query. First try to use this using an employee equals to. It pulls me the list of employees where I've got employee 2, and then using this 2 I'm just joining the employee table as the manager. Okay, and when I try to execute the entire query, it gives me the list of employees where I've got the manager IDs being recursively called using an employee CTE name. So this is what the basic recursive CTE means, and let's try to find exactly what are the nodes. The recursive CTE is a table expression that we just saw that references itself. The query repeatedly executes and returns subset of the data until it returns the complete result set. It is defined by two queries, anchor member and a recursive member. Both anchor and recursive member must be compatible in terms of columns. As we are using union all, we have to be very sure that both of these columns of anchor member and the recursive member are compatible in terms of the column names and the data types. The outer query of CTE represents the unified result set of anchor member and the recursive member. We just saw that using union all, the outer query is representing the unified result set of what my anchor member has got and what my recursive member has got. So this is all about the recursive query or the recursive CTE query. And if you like the video, I would like to please subscribe to the channel and please comment on my comment box. Thank you.